here for sale. They're $10. So if you want to buy a copy, I have them here.
Will you sign it?
Yes, I'll sign it for you. $2 charge. All right. So I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna read from another poet first. One of my inspirations and a mentor in a lot of ways, Raul Salinas. Well, I first met Raul. If you're not familiar with who Raul is, he's the Chicano beat, or he was. But he ran the La Resistencia in Austin for many, many years, and it's still running under Rene Valdez. And it's one of those bookstores where if you're going to be a poet or an activist in Austin, that's where you go. And Raul, he was one of those guys. He's basically a self-taught poet, self-educated in prison, and he came out as an activist. He spent most of his, adult life in prison up until he was about 40 and got released. But the one poem I'm going to read from him is called "Shame on the Shaman." It's his beat poem, or one of his beat poems. West of this here freeway, far beyond Austin, city limits cramps my style. Smiling rhymesters scream, "Oh, I got a bone to pick with you all. No exploitation of the mastodons here, boy, but a sacred, most ancestral bone to pick with you all. We got a litter, sort of airy set in town. No cause to get me down, but it won't, for damn sure, ensure pure for puritanical poetics. Canicles to confuse clones, prone to parrot, garroting in the process, beating of the bald head within the belly of the drum, strumming and humming a get-down tune by the light of the artificial moon. Claustrophobic cabbies sway down east side alleyways chasing Cassidy and Corso dreams that scream in the orgiastic nights of Peter hung on Ginsberg lungs amid the sights of a long ago, almost never land where the real beat lived, neatly ensconced in the heart of a golden sardine. Will the real Mr. Kaufman please come to the counter for your dental plates? The county paid for these, ought to consider yourself lucky. Pluck his poems out as he sleeps, weeping for those who never had a poem unto themselves, and therefore doomed to gloomy garbage rubbling, for lost found poems to call their own. The shaman sang a song, no sacred shaman sings. Shame on the shaman. Shaman, shaman, the man was shaman. That's right. If I can find mine. The second one I'm going to read here, if I can find it. I think it's this one I'm reading because I just today on the Yahoo News, it came out that the Cherokee Nation had just basically discredited what's called the Freedmen from the Dawes Rolls, which basically credits them as being Cherokee and part of the nation, which is kind of a horrible thing to do. The Freedmen were the Cherokees during the 1800s, took on slavery to seem more American, and they took in African slaves and they mixed and they mingled, and obviously they had mixed children. And when the Dawes Roll started in the 1880s, 1890s, there was a huge debate about whether they should be included to be Cherokee Nation, but just today they ruled that they're not going to be. So just to talk about how complicated colonization still is, I'm going to read this poem that I wrote. It's called Cafe Chistu. It's got a couple words in Cherokee. The first one is Chistu, which is Cherokee for rabbit. And rabbit in the Cherokee, for Cherokee peoples, is the trickster. He's the one that's responsible for creating man. Okay. And the second word is kawi, which means coffee or brown, which works in the same way. Cafe. So this poem is called Cafe Chistu. Cafe Chistu, where are you off to? Are you running across the meadows just to feel the grass lick your toes? Are you running because you're up to tricks, making clay and straw into sticks and telling us that they're actually men? Are you running to tell us something about blue coats, silver guns, and promises carried on a slippery breath, soaking your people in blood, tears, and ink-stained death? are you here to tell us about when song was heard and we could weave stories like a bird? Kafichistu, are you running so that I may follow across the mesas in the fields of my east now hollow? Were you chased by conquistadors slinging scimitars, angry that Montezuma's treasure was cocoa beans and not gold bars? Or were you hunted by vaqueros with lazos y pistolas, making fences with teeth? Were you beaten by batons wielded by blue-shirted justice when you spoke Spanish on the streets of Los Angeles? Did Coyote pour agave nectar in your ear so that you were deaf to his lies? And did you ride all night on his back so that all you could see were his eyes? Did you wake to realize that he had only walked in circles and you were staring at his rear? And did Coyote take everything from you to remind you that you have always been here? Kafichistu, where are you going? Are you late for a date that just can't wait? No blonde British bobbins here, just raven-haired trenzas and kawi-skinned dreamers, whose ears are trying to hear your sweet, sweet song for suffering and survival. And as you leap from here to there, across black rivers and mountains with red dirt, down a hole where a great sequoia once stood, I can hear the wind whispering and the crickets singing, follow the brown rabbit.